Hi, today I'm tasting the Benromach traditional whiskey. Now this is a Speyside whiskey, so it's up in the northeastern side of Scotland, and it's the traditional home of the large volume distilleries where they make lots and lots and lots of really great single malts. Speysides tend to be very fruit driven and light, and are the basis of lots and lots of blends. So really beautiful, succulent, elegant, easy approachable whiskies, and then usually some interesting stuff thrown in with some wood finishes, or sometimes they peat the barley, which is a little untraditional, I guess is the word, but certainly adds a bit of interest to the wonderful variety of whiskies that you can get from Speyside. It's got a really rich concentration of distilleries. There's about 60 distilleries in a very small area, but there's lots of rivers that run through Speyside, and as a result there's lots of little valleys, glens, so there's lots of good hidey holes where distilleries could be set up to avoid the excise master coming around and collecting the excise tax. So it was a great place for the Scots to set up their little distilleries hidden away in the glens, and as a result it's sort of the engine room, I guess, for whiskey coming out of Scotland. So we're tasting the Benromach Organic. It comes in this beautiful display tube, and it's actually quite modern, the packaging. It's even though it's not a new distillery, it's recently been refurbished, and the guys have done a wonderful job. Actually, it looks fantastic. So this is, which way around? This is the Benromach Organic. So you can see it's in kind of a funky bottle, and scripty sort of writing. Matured in hand-selected oak casks. So they select the casks by hand. How else would you do it? Did you get a machine to do it? Anyway, let's crack the top and see what we get. I love that sound. Okay, so this is a peated whiskey. It's pretty obvious when you smell a peated whiskey straight away. You get a sort of bacony, hammy, kind of smoky smells. This one certainly has that. It's not overt, it's not overpowering with the peat, but it's certainly present. Yeah, it's lovely. There's a really good lemony, citrusy, more blossom than the actual zest. So like a lemon blossom or a lime blossom. And then this kind of rich bacony smell underneath. Okay. It's quite a light coloured whiskey. You can probably see there just a touch of hay, straw colour. I'd say that's American oak. Actually it is ex-bourbon barrels for aging. Don't get a lot of oak on the nose, probably because it's pretty complicated with all of the other flavours. The oak isn't really overt, but really driven by this combination of smoke and citrus. It's really quite interesting. And then some vanilla. Well, I guess that'll be the oak coming through after. What an amazing blend of flavours. So there's this initial sweetness, which I guess is typical of Speyside. You get a really beautiful, almost barley sugar sweetness, and then an astringency, which is from the citrus that we can pick up on the nose, overlaid by the smoky bacony flavour. It's almost like a bacon fat flavour running over the top of these two flavour streams of citrus and sweetness. So it's like sweet and sour with a layer of bacon over the top. Yeah, and a beautiful length. It just keeps on giving. There's some nice vanilla-y flavours coming through now. And yeah, a really complicated whiskey actually. Lots and lots of flavour in there. Yeah, really fascinating. Now, when I try a new whiskey, that's straight up, but sometimes they get better with a little bit of water, so I'm just going to put a drop in. And with this one, seriously, just a drop. It's only 40%, so there's already a lot of water in there. So probably won't, I doubt that this will improve, but you never know until you try it down. So it's always worth trying a bottle with just a little bit of water to see if it improves, or to see if you prefer the whiskey with a little bit of water, or straight up, or maybe some whiskies with a little bit of ice. Even I find I prefer them with a little bit of ice. Which one's that? Particularly some of the island whiskies I tend to like with just maybe 1 cube of ice, just to drop the temperature a little bit and close them up a little bit, because they can be quite powerful. Okay, I lose the citrus. I lose the citrus and the smoke on the nose now that it's got water in it. It's really more dominated by the maltiness. Yeah, it's just a really good rich malt and vanilla-y. Okay, so that's the effect of the water. It's taken out that intensity of the intensity that was there from the smoke, peat, and the citrus. So on the nose, I prefer it straight up. My preference. You might like it the other way. Yeah, and again, it's washed out, I think, with the water. The flavours are there, but because the intensity has been lost, because it's diluted, it's really, really easy to drink like this. Really easy to drink, actually. But for me, not as enjoyable. But people who are just starting out to drink single malt whiskies would probably enjoy this diluted, because it doesn't have nasty flavours in it. It's just a really soft, mellow drink, but it actually ticks all the boxes, meaning it's got some peatiness. You can really taste the barley, the vanilla flavours from the oak, yeah, underlying citrus. Really, not a lot there, but you can sort of break that down. It'll be a really good, useful whiskey to introduce somebody to single malt with when it's watered down. But when it's in its pure form, even though it's only 40% alcohol, really good concentrated flavours. And yeah, I'm a big fan of it straight up. So I'll get rid of that, and I think I'll enjoy that as a straight pour in the future. So the water from this comes from the springs of Benromach, and it's a beautiful, pure, pristine water. And that probably adds a little bit of minerality to it as well. I'm kind of getting some really nice mineral characters coming through on the palate too. So look, I'm a bit surprised at how good that whiskey is actually, considering that it's pretty reasonably priced. That's about $70, and I think that is crackerjack value for money. Yeah, really, bang for your buck. That's right up there with the Ardbegs or even Lagavulin. It's kind of got that smokiness that those whiskies have with the peat, but it's not overpowering. It's all in balance. I think the oak is better than this, than in the Ardbeg, for instance. It's a winner. Give it a try. You can get it on at singlemalt.com.au, and it's available there for $79.99. We'll post to you anywhere in Australia. And if you're one of the sailors aboard the Global Challenge, I'm sure you're drinking that regularly and enjoying it. So get into it, give it a go. Andy Anderson, signing off.